Welcome to Mommy Issues, a podcast where an ex-reality TV star mom
and her reality TV loving daughter
bridge the gap between their generations through celeb news, all things Bravo,
and their own personal mommy issues.
We're
Here
in person.
Here we are together.
I feel like I'm just going to look at you here because if I'm looking at you here,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll look at each other in the screen.
I am going to be on my phone because I have podcast notes here.
Okay.
See?
I have no notes.
Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
We're in person.
Live and in person.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I shouldn't be eating. It's okay.
I'm not eating today. Isn't that weird?
So, I think we should just jump into highlights and lowlights.
Okay.
I will go first. I don't have any lowlights.
Me neither.
I was thinking about it last night when I got into bed. Actually, no, I wrote down two things. Okay, so highlights. One, if you listen to the podcast, you know that there was a potential that I might get a job in Italy. Bitch got the job. Okay. That's the highlight. The low light is bitch got the job.
That's true. That's true.
I'm absolutely terrified. It's looking more and more like I'm going to have to go alone because it seems as though bringing Lola would be a selfish act because it would be like getting her into the schedule. It's already taken like 4 days for her to adjust to a 3-hour time change. I can't even imagine what it would be in Lecce, Italy.
Right.
I don't know, but
maybe we can figure it out towards the end. You know, not towards the end, but after, you know what I mean? Like,
so when we can all travel back together.
Yeah, I was thinking that because I just feel like
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I think it's too much. I'm losing. You're losing sleep over it. I'm losing sleep over it.
John Liam said that he's worried about my mental health being away from Lola for a month, and so am I.
Yeah. So I think that kind of like maybe halfway when you're settled, when you're feeling good about the job and all that. I mean, I can get Ken to come with me too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then John Liam comes. It's a whole party.
Yeah.
Maybe Jackie comes.
And then
that would be fun.
Yeah.
I would do that. Yeah. Maybe the end would be a smart idea.
Yeah. I've been thinking that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's my high and low. It's high as I'm excited because I got this job and it's going to be fun to go to Italy. Look at my ring. Remember when I was talking shit about Italy and then surprise, I get to go. But guess what? I get to go for free. Not just for free.
You get
paid to go.
Yeah.
That's the way to go to Italy.
It's going to be a cool place in Tuscany. You know, it's really cool. It's just very hard to get to. So
yeah, it'll
be hard for Lola. But I think if we're going to be there, like, let's say even 2 weeks, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
You know?
It'll probably take a week for her to adjust.
And I want her to have stamps on her passport of every continent
God.
Before she's 18, because I tried to do that with you guys and we missed 2.
Which were the 2?
Do you know the 7 continents?
No.
Okay. So we missed Antarctica and Australia. Okay. So my highlight is that you're here, that Lola's here. It's a lot of work. Like, I don't know, you know, we're both here. So it's not like but just to see how much.
Oh. Sorry.
Oops. Just to see how much work, you know, and making sure that she gets all her nutrients and all that stuff.
She's well fed.
And she is very active and she moves around a lot. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And everybody wants to see her and you have to juggle that. And
it's a lot of work.
Yeah. And you've tried to please everybody. No, it's no joke, but it's amazing. We're going to go to Charlotte also to see Kati. So that's going to be fun. And I'm just thinking my low light, I'm anticipating the low light when you leave.
When I leave
and this is over, I am going to go into I'm going to try not to, because one time you told me that happens to me. Remember a long time ago, you told me when you have an activity or you travel or whatever, when you get back, you get really down. And I didn't. And now I anticipate it because it is absolutely true. When you anticipate it, you kind of can manage it better. Yeah. I prepare. So I know it's going to happen. I know my house is going to feel empty. And I wake up and I hear and it's like,
Yeah.
Just to see that face, it's the greatest thing in the world. So.
I know. It's really cute. And Lola loves my mom so deeply.
Yeah.
She loves everybody. Like she smiles at everybody, but like
but it's a different
just this morning when you were like trying to put her down and she was just like, no, keep holding me.
Yeah.
It was very sweet. Also, the sound quality on this is going to be better than any single podcast we've ever recorded because I'm here to help you.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay.
I don't even know what's happening.
We do have a guest today, by the way. I'm going to give him a 5-minute warning.
Somebody that does podcasts for real.
Yeah, he's been the only guest we've ever had, and I guess he will continue to be the only guest.
No, we're gonna have other guests. It's just that we're gonna he knows what he's doing, and we have stuff to discuss. There's a lot to talk about.
We so before he gets on, we'll do some gossip.
Okay.
There's not that much. There is a thing. Britney Spears and her husband Sam divorcing.
Oh,
do you know about this?
No, that poor girl though.
Dude, she's unwell, and apparently, so he's threatening to release, quote, extraordinarily embarrassing information if their prenup is not negotiated. And so far, he's already said that she had an affair with one of the staff members. Not an affair. I think she had sexual relations or maybe like inappropriate sexual stuff with one of her staff members. And they're saying that she walks around her house like just fully nude.
Yeah.
She's crazy. Not crazy.
I can't imagine what he would release that is more embarrassing than some of the stuff she posts herself.
I know. Well, that's the thing. I'm like, also people stan Britney so much that it's like, I don't think anyone's going to be like, wait, what? She did what? It's like, yeah, dude, you and everybody was like I think people were a little trepidatious about this guy because it's like.
They don't have kids?
No, but she has her twins.
Yeah, no, I know.
Who don't like her anymore. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Am I giving too much boob?
Nah.
Okay. So yeah, they're separating. I think they were together for 13 months. Married for 13 months. Together for a little bit longer.
Okay. Well, I mean, did anybody think that was going to last?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
I did not. The other thing, J-Lo, there's a video of J-Lo. This is so funny because it's like,
oh, the one of her dancing on a table?
No. That would have been fine because at least she knows how to dance. J-Lo doing karaoke. Not karaoke. They like gave her the mic and she sang at an Italian bar. I Will Survive.
Oh, I saw it.
I'm going to post a video on our Instagram.
It's so
it is
bad.
One of the worst things ever. And then she also did Let's Get Loud, but she did the version of Let's Get Loud that she did at the Super Bowl where she's like, let's get loud. Like just really.
And where is he?
I don't know. I'm assuming he's there because she also posted a video of, it was his like 50 something birthday. She posted a video of them in the car. They're like on their Italian getaway.
Okay.
But J-Lo, dude, stop singing in public without your auto-tune, your backing vocals, like all of it. At karaoke with my friends a couple weeks ago, we were singing like a J-Lo song and
you sounded better.
No, well, one of my friends was like, this is such a great song. Like, man, J-Lo, great performer, bad singer. I was like, yeah, that's like what she is. Yeah. It's like Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez can also not sing, but people ride for Selena Gomez so hard. Britney Spears can't sing anymore. Maybe didn't before, whatever. People ride for her so hard. She's a performer.
Well, that's the thing that you want to watch. When you watch videos, you know, this week I understood Bad Bunny for the first time ever.
Yeah.
I was like, what is the appeal of this guy? He's so whatever. I don't know what he is. And then I started watching videos and I'm like, I like Bad Bunny. And that's really weird.
Welcome to the club. So friend of the pod, Danny Simo, she came over and then Lola was having a hard night. It was like one of her first nights here and she just like wouldn't go to bed. So I had to keep going in and out of the room. And I told Danny, I'm like, please just go home. I feel so bad. And she's like, no, I'm not leaving. And I would just, every time I came out, you guys are watching another Bad Bunny music video, just like on the couch, not talking, just like mesmerized by Bad Bunny. But yeah, man,
it's
welcome to the club.
You got me into it.
Yo perrea sola. I twerk alone. Also, the like translation was on the bottom of the videos. It helped me because I was like, I don't even know what the hell he's saying. And then the last thing for gossip is, and this is not really gossip, this is just something I noticed when I smoked weed last night and I was just on Instagram. Kim Kardashian cut her hair up to here. Like bob, but like not bob. It's like bad. It looks,
it doesn't look good.
It looks horrible. First of all, copping Courtney, because Courtney has her bob, but people are calling her Lord Farquaad from
she's gonna put on slap on extensions right away.
No, well, yes, that, but like since that, she has posted 2 things on her Instagram of just her body, and I think it's like her reaction is just like, well, yeah, maybe I look like Lord Farquaad, but look at my body. And it's such, but there's such a bad Photoshop fail. Like it's her taking a photo in her private plane bathroom selfie mirror or whatever. And it's just a complete,
she distorted the background.
No, it's not even distorted. She just like, you can see that she cut off a piece of her body so that it looks like, I don't know. I'm just like, I think like we're headed in a weird direction. I know a lot of people don't like when we talk about the Kardashians, but I think we're in a place where like she's losing it a little bit.
Yeah, she's losing it. I think being in the public eye and being exposed to constant criticism and every single, I mean, think about the amount of followers that she has, right? Like everyone has an opinion on her. I think it's a lot. I think it gets to you after a while. It's kind of like public image fatigue.
Here's the other thing. I think, how many do you take of these? 2.
But I
just want a gummy is all. Vitamin D gummies. The other thing with Kim Kardashian is like when she was with Kanye, it was like, you know, he put her in a place of like high fashion, this, that, whatever. Now that she's like her own person again, I think that she would benefit from being like long hair, glam makeup, glam everything, not necessarily designer, like weird clothes. I think she would benefit from going back to her roots of like what Kim Kardashian became famous for was like Hervé Leger dresses, the voluminous hair, the like striking black hair.
That would date her, and she doesn't want that. She wants to look like a millennial.
I know, but like it would date her, but people should, I don't know, I think she should go against the grain. I think she should be doing the thing that she's known for, and it also goes against the grain. I don't know. I just call me Kim. I have ideas for you. I really do. I think
let's get David on because
I know I want to talk about Bravo stuff, but we're ready. He needs 5.
Okay.
What can we talk about? Should we do a quiz first before he gets on?
Oh yeah. So you know what's happening with Trump, right? Again,
he's indicted.
For what?
And like 13 other people too.
Right. For what?
For rigging the election.
Okay, but
that's not wrong.
No, that's not wrong.
For interfering with the election.
Yeah.
And for inciting the insurrection.
All right. Okay. What charges have been under?
I'm not a lawyer.
What is the RICO Act?
The RICO Act?
Yeah.
I don't know. What
does it stand for? Like all you see on TV is RICO.
RICO?
Yeah.
The Republican?
No. Okay. There is a there is a charge in the indictment about being a Republican.
I don't know. I think there should be.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
You're being indicted for simply being a Republican. No, I don't know. But that's not fair because I'm not a lawyer.
Right.
So
I think most people know what it is since it's
on TV.
Yeah, it's constant.
But you guys watch the news a lot. Like it's on the background all the time. We don't do that because mental health. I have KCRW on like constantly.
Right.
So I hear stories about stuff, but not like that. There's a hurricane coming to Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
That's crazy. Actually, that means that the water is warm enough in California for that to happen when it's usually frigid.
I know, but we all know that climate change is a hoax, so we don't know what it is.
Yeah, so
we don't know what's causing it.
We don't know what's happening. It's probably God, to be honest. Probably the Republicans.
Yeah, they want to destroy Los Angeles so that you move closer.
True. Okay, give me like a real quiz. I want like a proper quiz.
A real quiz.
And not news quiz.
Okay. Okay, let's see. What is not a news quiz?
Yeah.
What is Explain what happens during menopause. What is menopause?
Your ovaries are like shriveling up.
No. No.
You're shedding the final lining of your uterus. I don't know.
Okay. No. What?
Oh
Why
my
is it
God,
doing
you
that?
get so many phone calls. It's unbelievable.
But why don't you put the DND? Do not disturb.
Oh, I forgot about
What a
that.
concept.
DND. DND.
Seriously, you don't know?
I don't know.
Okay. So when you become a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go to you reach puberty, your estrogen levels
surge.
Right. And then as they peak at a certain age, when you're primed to have children in your early to mid 20s. And then later over time during perimenopause, you start losing your estrogen
levels start to drop.
Your estrogen, progesterone levels and start going down. And so you basically stop being a woman. No, but you know what I mean? It's just, that's what happens. Your hormones go to hell because your estrogen levels go down, your progesterone levels go down. You start not, menopause starts when you cease to have a menstrual cycle.
Right.
But everything that goes along with it
also stops.
Right, because it affects everything.
So what, you stop producing estrogen and progesterone?
You produce a lot less.
So do you have to take supplements to
some people take I take it because I went into surgical menopause because I had to have a hysterectomy
right.
way before I would have. So I never actually felt that whole thing, except I feel it now because I've stopped taking it because I've been worried about estrogen and other things.
You're the one who should be taking the seed cycling stuff if that's the case.
Yeah, well,
it probably is better for menopausal women. PCOS, menopausal women. Anytime I say PCOS, I'm like concerned. I'm saying piece of shit, like POS. There's just one little C in there.
That's really, people struggle with that. It's really bad.
No, I know. I have friends who have it. It's horrendous. Okay, what else can I tell you about this trip thus far? It's disgustingly hot.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's actually the worst time to come is in the summer.
August is the worst. September is the worst. I mean, it's bad.
It is horrible. You walk outside and you're immediately drenched in sweat, and that's that I sweat a lot. So it's
that's
like
what Lola how she gasped. She gasped at two things. What was it? The thing, and then my closet.
Remember? The closet.
Because
so
of the lights.
When we landed in Miami, my mom came inside to like help get the bags, and she was just going to bring Lola outside. And when she stepped outside with Lola audibly gasped. She went, and we think it's because of the humidity. She was like, wait,
no, it really was.
What is this? She was also in like her all long sleeve black outfit with the leggings. Because I was like, she's going to be like crawling around everywhere. She's going to be gross.
And cold on the plane.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So audibly gasped at the weather and then audibly gasped at my mom's closet when she walked in and like the lights turned on. She went,
she loved it.
I was like, there. Yeah. She does. Well, there's so much in there. She opened the drawer the other day.
I got an insole.
But the little the jade necklace that was
She broke it?
No, but she took it out and I was like, that's an interesting necklace to have taken out. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Jade. That's gotta be something.
It means something.
It does mean something. And I also just like remember that necklace so fondly.
It's our Asian side.
Yeah, exactly. That's what she likes.
If David doesn't get out, we'll start talking. Bravo.
Okay, I'm gonna just start. Okay. Well, biggest news in Bravo. Rachel, aka Raquel, from Vanderpump Rules, did a 2-part quote unquote tell all about the whole experience with Sandoval. So she just came with Bethenny,
which was a very interesting choice since she is persona non grata at Bravo right now.
So just the whole thing was Rachel, she's going by Rachel now. Okay. Rachel did a 90-day treatment at a facility and then came out, and I think like has recently come out and then is now doing this podcast.
So was the facility for mental health or was it for any kind of addiction issues?
Well, she said love addiction, but it's for mental health. She basically did therapy straight for 90
Love
days.
addiction?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's like confusing like
Attention?
intensity and intensity and passion for love. You know, like the attention and the like that like dopamine that like hits.
Yeah.
That's love addiction. Okay, we're gonna let David on.
Let's let him in.
Welcome, David Yontef from
Hi.
Behind the Velvet Rope.
Sorry for such a non-grand entrance.
It's okay. We can add like music and be like it can be like a very suspenseful
Coming
thing.
to us from the
Oh my
Hamptons
gosh.
or LA.
Coming to you from the Hamptons.
From
See
the
my
Hamptons.
tree in the background?
Yeah,
Gorge.
nice.
I love. How the hell are you?
Oh my gosh. I mean, what's going on with you? Neither of us are in LA, so let's start with that. So that's not a bad thing.
You'll be here soon yourself, and Beba can tell you how god awfully hot
It's
it is.
disgusting over here. Like, I honestly think you should change your trip.
I have to come for work. So
Okay.
I feel like I go nowhere anymore in the world for non-work. But Anna, you're going to meet me for a drink.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You have like 4 nights to choose from. So I'm going to drag you out, and you're not going to be there, Beba. You're going to be back.
I
in
am
LA.
not going to be here. Hold on. Let me make sure that this is
recording.
Well, it's recording, just that it's doing it the way that I need it to do it. But we were, here we go, gallery. We were talking about Raquel on Bethenny's podcast. I'm assuming you listened.
I mean, does anyone want to talk about anything else in the world right now? I have so many thoughts. What were you guys saying?
I was just giving her, because she didn't listen. I listened and took some notes, and I was just giving the whole thing. Just the fact that she was in this treatment facility for 90 days. She went on
for love addiction.
For love addiction, for whatever. She used the word vitriol maybe 500 times, which I was honestly pretty impressed that she knew that word.
She just learned it.
I know.
Yeah.
But I was like, even the fact that she knows how to say it, I was like, cool.
She was very calm. I just was the whole time. I mean, I have so many thoughts about it. The whole time I was like, is someone there? Is someone in her ear? Is this her?
Did it sound not like her?
It sounded like, I mean, look, I think it could be her, right? I mean,
or
she
a
could
media
be
trained version. I just think it was a bad move to do this on Bethenny.
Agreed. It was very weird. And the reason why she said she was doing it on Bethenny's podcast, she said, why my podcast? Which was like, Jesus Christ, setting her up to like hit the ball. She said, you're a force to be reckoned with, and the network is running to the bank with my storyline, and I haven't seen a single penny. So basically, Rachel just aligning herself with the cause of what Bethenny is doing of going after Bravo.
Right.
Which I get that, but I mean, I agree too. Like, look, do I think, I mean, everyone has a book deal. Maybe you could have got a book. You could have at least done GMA, some money. You mean to tell me People Magazine wouldn't have given you something? You would have gotten actual money.
Right. She was not paid a penny for this. Not a penny. But I did hear that Bethenny traveled to Arizona for it.
Nope.
Which I was like, at least she did that and like didn't make Rachel pay her own way.
I saw Bethenny in her private plane flying. So, I mean,
really?
Me. Yeah, I saw her. What's tonight? Friday. So we're recording this. Wednesday night, she was here in the Hamptons at Tudo because I saw her. I live down the street from Tudo El Giorno. And I mean, that's where you see everyone. So she was back in the Hamptons eating at Tudo on Wednesday night, the day it came out. So she was in Arizona on her private plane. I mean, that's not so hard. By the way, just for the record, I mean, I wouldn't have offered her $10,000, but I would have given her more than she got paid from Bethenny. I would have given her something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think People Magazine or GMA or one major player would have given her something
and
real.
I do think that she
it.
could get a book deal from this, babe. I think you were saying.
No, I'm sure she could. I don't know if Rachel can write a book.
Oh my God. Do you think any of them write their own book?
I know, but like even that, I just feel like she would be like with like a crayon holding it like this and being like, and then this is Tom.
You know who I do think wrote her own book is Heather
Dubrow?
No.
Heather Gay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I read that book.
Why do you think?
Because I read it. My other daughter told me that it was good, and it is good. And
I believe she wrote that too.
Yeah. And it sounds just like her, and she's smart. So
Huh. Okay, so she wrote her book. Someone else swore to me that they wrote their own book, but I forgot who it was.
Margaret.
It was somebody. I don't think it was her. It was somebody else recently, and they were like, I wrote it, and I kind of believe
them.
I forgot who. Yeah.
So what do you think about Rachel's love addiction? Have you ever been addicted to love?
Well, I mean, first of all, Raquel Leviss on my podcast has been in the same treatment program, and she revealed on I mean, she says, and here's some tea for you.
Yeah.
She said on my podcast that program, which she has gone to after, I think either after or before Celebrity Rehab, she's like, it's 45 days up and out. There's no way you could be there for 4 months, 3 months. So that's what Raquel Leviss said. And she said, there's no way it costs $200,000. Now, when this podcast came out, somebody picked it up and wrote about it, not like a People, but like a smaller publication. And then Raquel's team wrote to this publication and said, this is so egregious. How dare you print this? You're quoting, Raquel Leviss, who has nothing to do with this story. So I'm like, man, why didn't I take this PR person's name and call them and invite this? But I mean, this is the crap that goes on behind the scenes. And it had nothing to do with me. I didn't say it, but some publication picked it up, and the hero reached out and said, how dare you run this story that Raquel Leviss on Behind the Velvet Rope is calling Raquel Leviss a liar. So, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm just more, there's a lot of things she said. I just have a problem with the fact, right, why Bethenny's podcast?
That's the biggest
Bethenny used it. I mean, every other word was, reality reckoning. So, I mean, listen, I said on my podcast 3 weeks ago, the two names she should have tied to her are NeNe and Raquel Leviss. Like, if you want to go forward with this, and here we are. I mean, I'm sure she thought of this on her own. She didn't listen to my, but like,
yeah. You think NeNe is with Bethenny on this, or is that one of the names that she's?
I mean, NeNe said well, first of all, she said, I've said everything Bethenny's now saying, and no one listened to me. I've been saying this for years, and why is that? So that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah. I mean, I think I think a lot of people that are not on TV are casually seeing what Bethenny wants to do, right? And like where this is all going to go.
Yeah.
But
I don't
know.
I was like, I was so of the mindset just last episode about this whole thing. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, reality TV stars should not be joining this fight. It's taking away from the fight of actual SAG and WGA. And I was talking about it with my husband, and he was like, why are you on that side? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I would also be benefiting from this too. Like, they should be making residuals the same way, because they're working, whatever. I think it's just my issue with the whole thing is Bethenny. Like, I hate that Bethenny's behind it, because I find her to not have any more credibility anymore. So I'm like, yeah, why are you the one leading the charge here? I actually would rather it be NeNe. I respect NeNe more. I find her to be smarter than Bethenny. The thing about
Bethenny is that she's been trying with little success to get attention and have some kind of resurgence, and she has been unsuccessful. She's had shows that have not done well, from her talk show to her show with Mark Burnett to her show with Kevin O'Leary, that Money Court. And so then she
to Shark Tank. I mean,
channel.
She's not a guest on Shark Tank anymore.
No, she's not a guest on, she's very polarizing.
She's a liability.
Yeah. And so now she's like, and then, saying all the time that she has an open door at Bravo, and anytime in the Bethenny, clause and all this stuff. And Bravo's like, yeah, not so much.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. And
not anymore.
No, not anymore. But before, when she decided to do this, she knew that door was not only closed, it was locked and double bolted. Mm-hmm. And so you need to know that when you take this on. And so what bothers me about it is that it's not altruistic in any way. She is not trying to help anybody. She is trying to bring attention to Bethenny, and that I'm all for justice. When you go to law school and you want what's right, you want people to get what they're entitled to. I understand all that, but I hate the way she's doing it. We talked about who her lawyer is, and it's a joke, he's not the right person for this. I don't think she's shelling out hundreds of thousands of dollars in fees in advance for this. I think he's probably taken it on a contingency. Again, all my opinion, taking it on a contingency basis. And, I don't know. I hope he doesn't handle it like he handled Winona Ryder's case. That's all I can tell you.
Not well.
I just thought in listening to this, like, it was so like the dramatic pauses. And it's like, it really felt icky to me. It really felt like, and that's people's criticism. I think, like, you're fighting for this justice in reality TV. And like, you're not even faking it well. Like, you're taking advantage of this girl.
Yeah,
of course you flew to her. I mean, of course her team reached out to you. Sure. I believe that. But, it's like, it's clearly you're sitting there smarter than her.
Oh, God.
Ready for the downloads. Like, so it just, reading all the things people said. Yeah. Mind you, I also thought she left a lot on the table.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, it's like,
not hold her feet to the fire at all. And a lot of the questions were targeted so that it would always go back to the fight about Bravo, right. About reality TV, right. About all of that. It had nothing to do with like, being a victim to Tom Sandoval, who's like a narcissist.
Right.
And, she is at the end of the day, a victim to this thing. She's not very bright. And I think that a lot of the shit that she did at this facility, she was talking about inner child work, which is like, if you have done therapy, it's like one of the first couple things you do is inner child work. And it helps you kind of like understand the
You've
reason.
Done that?
Yeah. It's the reason. It's why she's going by Rachel. Cause she said that her therapist made her write with her left hand. I don't know why, her name. And when she wrote her name on a whiteboard, she wrote Rachel. And then her therapist was like, oh, that's interesting. And it's like, it's because she connects with that little girl. And I'm like, okay, all that sounds great. It sounds like she did real work at this place and she did it for 90 days. That's a lot. But Bethenny has gone on record saying that she never watched Vanderpump. She only watched a couple of episodes and then the reunion. She thought it was all ridiculous. For then to this be the thing, Kyle Cook from Summer House came out and was like, this is such a bullshit thing. Like, first of all, I've never heard more ads in my life on a podcast that's only 40 minutes. So like it's such a cash grab for Bethenny.
Yeah.
No money is going to Rachel, even though all they're talking about is how they're not being paid by Bravo. It's like, you right. are the problem. It's you. Sorry.
You're right about that. I hadn't even thought about that. How hypocritical, right? How hypocritical.
That's what Kyle said. He said if it was a PSA, why are there ads in this?
That is very hypocritical. And, this is the thing I hate about Bethenny. There is, her podcast should be called Humble Brag because that's all she does. And then she'll go to the Taylor Swift concert, right? And she's in some VIP whatever. And she's like, when I was there and I felt kind of bad because there's these little girls all over, and I would get behind that for like every whatever tickets the Ticketmaster sells. I would give a free, I would donate to that. And it's like, so now put your money where your mouth is. This poor girl, let's say it's true that she has been, in fact, manipulated by Bravo, or this whole story has been huge. I mean, what was it called? Scandival or whatever. I mean, it was on CNN. They were on The View. They were on GMA. They were on all those things. So why not be the first person to compensate her for all of this? Because
and let's
you're certainly being compensated. So I don't like that. I really, for me, it's tough because the whole reason I agreed to be on Housewives was because of Bethenny. Because I saw what Bethenny had done with it. I'm talking about 2011 when I was first called. I was like, she can make something of this. I already had 2 books out. I wanted to launch my product line. I already had my product. I already had everything.
She had created a precedent of like what a housewife could be.
This woman has been the person to parlay this into a multi-million-dollar business. And I respected her. And it is so hard to kind of see that other side of somebody. Like, I've seen her become unhinged, and she's become really kind of like a caricature of herself.
Yeah.
She's just, and I don't
know. She says that too. She says, I mean, she was on someone else's podcast. I forgot who. And she's like, people join Housewives for one of 2 reasons. And one of the reasons is, she says, to be like me. She's
and she's absolutely right.
Says they see what I could do with a brand and they
she's
join
absolutely
for that.
right. And if you go on there and you don't let the attention and the fame and all that and worried so much about what you're wearing get to you and you focus, then you could do it. Because I do feel that I have done that and I have changed careers dramatically and I have built a business and I have done all that. Yeah. And I credit her. I read her books but now I think it's all bullshit. Yeah. It's kind of like, don't meet your heroes. You know what I mean?
It's not bullshit. People change. I think
she changed.
It happens when you're in the limelight for too long, when you start getting older and then there's desperation sets in because you're not getting as much work as before. You're just trying to find the thing that somebody's going to be like, got it, you know?
And she would have continued to
David
be.
talk. You need to let David talk.
No, I mean, I was going to say, I agree with you that she's not dumb. So the door was closed. Look, I think they would have taken her back on Girls Trip, New York, any of it, like a normal person. Like if she said, okay, I'll go back to Roni for $1 million, just fire Leah and Ebony and I think they would have said, here's $1 million.
100%.
So it's like they would have taken her back when you're saying 5 million, or her new thing is she would take $1 million for Girls Trip. Before this happened, she would have done Girls Trip for $1 million while everyone else got the 250. So like once she realized like the numbers were never going to happen.
I'll do it for the 250. Sorry to interrupt you. I'll do it for the 250.
I'll do it for 50. Just put that out there.
I'll do it for 10.
Right. Like I'll like do it for 10 too, actually.
Yeah, Beba and I will do it together.
I mean, maybe they'll do like a mother, like maybe they'll do a child
literally won't, but
a child's adult one, or like a children's, trip. But yeah, so I agree. I think she realized the door was closed. I mean, the thing is, like NeNe, I do think is pretty much like NeNe just did that interview with my good friend Carlos King. And she's like, no one comes to me with a podcast. No one does this. No one does that. And it's like, well, that is now like Bethenny. I mean, she says she doesn't care, but like, I don't think this really is to me it. Like you're not going to get offers, which I think she knows. So it's like
from any network.
But
from
also,
any network.
From any network, but at some point it's like I just don't understand. I understand when you need the money, but when you don't need the money, to me it's like she was at the restaurant why not now, as she says, this direct quote from her recently, I check my balance, I'm good
and I'm good, right?
Then and her boyfriend has a ton of money too, so just don't you want to just, who cares? I mean, you're famous.
She's obsessed.
She's addicted.
She needs to
That's
be
sick.
The center of attention. It is sick. It's honestly bad. And it's like the thing that I will respect is that she has no shame about it. She's very like, whatever. This is exactly what I want to be doing. I want everybody to know me. I want to stir the pot. If that's what you want to do and you're being honest about it, more power to you. But I'm like, I'm all good on it. And like the whole aligning herself with the Rachel thing with Scandival, no one is talking about anything she's saying. People are only talking about the fact that it was on Bethenny's podcast. People are like, rolling their eyes.
Have fatigue of Scandival fatigue.
Definitely.
Like, do we care about that anymore?
No. But we hadn't heard the side of Rachel, and like,
I'm over it.
I know. I honestly, I didn't care either. I was more interested in like how Bethenny was going to spin this. Yeah. And like, my God, did she spin it?
And by the way, with everything that we're saying negative about her, she's super smart to do it because she can. I just question the morality of it, the real like women supporting women, all the shit she spews that she uses as a punchline. It is not real. She is in fact taking advantage of that poor girl.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't like that.
Which is everything again that she's saying is she's so outraged that the cast did that. I just don't understand. Like, Bethenny now goes back to, millions and millions of dollars. Like, where does Raquel go from here? Like, I'm shocked that she's not going back to the show. Like, I understand
she must have known, that she's not going back to the show before
she announced it. Yeah.
No, they asked her back. Apparently, Lala sent her an email. Apparently, Tom Sandoval sent her 2 emails. Apparently, Lisa had a call with her and tried to get her to come back. Everyone is trying to get her to come back because they want ratings. It's like, without her, then there's no actual issue anymore. And the truth is that this show, Vanderpump, was going to be canceled after this season. is what I hear.
Right.
And then because of all of this,
before this, yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And then everything came out and they're like, well, I guess we're doing it again. This is a paycheck for everybody on that cast. Even Ariana is being seen with Tom Sandoval. They're like in pictures together, all this stuff. It's all fucking bullshit. They're all like trying to make their bag. And I respect it.
Yeah.
But
They're
I'm
smart
so done with this.
Yeah.
It's like,
will you continue watching that, or you think
I'm going to keep watching it? And I will keep watching it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I just don't understand why she wouldn't go back. I'm still not convinced that give it a season off. Like I think Bethenny has burned her bridge with the network and networks.
Totally.
NeNe, I don't think Raquel has. Like I think now she did make this claim that Bravo has now come out and actually spoke out again. She said, you know, Kristen was going to come out and like expose her like abusive relationship with James.
Yeah.
And that's why she got a spinoff to keep her quiet. And Bravo, out of everything Bravo said, that is absolutely not why she got a spinoff.
Kristen got her own spinoff?
No.
Well, they're filming it with Jax.
Oh. Yeah. She also claimed that Tom Sandoval was offered a producer credit on Vanderpump, and they came out and said that is not true,
right,
at all. Which,
you know how
that's the thing. A lot of stuff that she said on the podcast, like no one is like really talking about it, but it's a lot of it is lying.
Oh, so
I mean, other than the fact, like I understand the whole Bethenny of it all is like she is saying they are using this storyline, this thing that happened in my real life.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't pay for my treatment, even though I asked them to, and then they're running to the bank based on her storyline. She said that she wasn't paid. Apparently she was paid $300,000, which by the way, Bethenny said that she got paid less than her interns get paid, which by the way, I'm available, Bethenny.
Not anymore.
I mean, did you see where they stopped Lisa on TMZ, and Lisa actually walked for like 13 blocks? Lisa's loving this. She's loving. No one's, but they all. It's the same.
You walk for 13 blocks.
Well, I don't know specifically, but it's the same.
It's
always the same guy, and it's always the same girl. If you listen to The Voice, so I mean, they've assigned him. Harvey Levins assigned this guy and this girl to TMZ. I mean, it was like a lot of blocks, and Lisa was answering. I mean, I believe Bethenny when Bethenny's like, there's no way she got paid 300. I mean, there's no way. Raquel did not get paid. She didn't get 250. She didn't get 200.
No.
So I don't know why Lisa, I mean, that's out of Lisa's mouth, but then they kept asking Lisa, you know, well, what do you say about the fact that is the show going to fail without her? Like, and Lisa just, you know, Lisa then stopped and she like stopped walking and she's like, honey, the show has done really well without her before. We'll go on.
By the way, agreed. We don't need Rachel for the show. She was not really anything until this whole thing happened. And by the way, she was only something at the end of the season when the cameras came back up. It wasn't really that crazy.
Right. No, I know. I agree. But I do think people would have liked to see how this unfolds. And it's interesting because I never thought she would decide on her own not to come back. So, you know, Bethenny always said that she was the only person that was asked to come back and said no. Now there's another one. And for sure. And Caroline Manzo has also been asked back. But another thing that I wanted to mention is that Caroline Manzo, she keeps mentioning her or had mentioned her or
Rachel
or
Bethenny?
Her, no, Bethenny as part of being part of this whole thing against Bravo. And it's absolutely untrue. She is not involved in that at all. So I don't, you know, like using people's names to get credibility for your thing. There's plenty of people.
She has no line.
Yeah.
She has no line.
Yeah.
Well, she's using like Paige DeSorbo, who's currently on Summer House, was tagged. She untagged herself and said, I am no part of this. And I don't know if you saw the video. Spencer and Heidi have done a funny video because she's mentioned Spencer and Heidi's name. And they did a video where they're like, we are available to be locked in a room. We're available to work 35 hours in horrible conditions. We're available to be drunk. We're available for any network. We could start tonight.
We're available for revenge porn.
That's why I love Spencer and Heidi. They are so like, we just want to be on TV. Put us on TV. And Spencer came out with a video being like, I've been on strike. I've been striking this whole time. I've just been waiting for people to notice.
That is funny.
It's really so. I mean, she's tagging. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if there's not one person currently on TV aligned with you, then doesn't it just become like a bitter ex club of people that are want to be working? Right. Doesn't that lose its validity?
And not all exes either, because Leah already came out and spoke to Page Six and other media outlets that she thinks what Bethenny is doing is really kind of her being ungrateful for the opportunity she was given by Bravo too, that she's made all this money. She would not have done that but for Bravo. That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
She disagrees. If you've heard her statements lately, she says, you know, they gave me a platform. I will absolutely acknowledge that they gave it to me. She's like, but they gave everybody a platform. I have been the most successful housewife in the history. And she's like, look at what she's like, let me tell you all the things. I'm not going to bore you with all the zeros that I've done since leaving. I've made more money since leaving than when I was there. And
of course, everybody does.
But you've made more money since leaving because of the it's still rooted back to the platform.
She doesn't see it that way anymore.
That's crazy. That just shows you how delusional she is. It's like, I'm self-made. It's like, yes, to a certain extent, but you also can't bite the hand that feeds you.
Absolutely. There's a lot of women that go on these shows and really do nothing with it. And nothing, absolutely nothing. The majority, in fact. It's a lot of work to juggle all that. And so hats off to her for that. But man, humility goes a long way. How much more respect would we have for her if she was like, if we pointed out all those things that you've accomplished, not just like, look at me, it's so, I am honestly embarrassed for her. I'm embarrassed for her.
I love how this became a Bethenny thing, but it's like,
well, I was going to say, like, what happens to Rachel? I mean, I still think Rachel could go, Raquel can go back in the future, like a different, I bet you they would take her back in a different season. Absolutely. She isn't really doing
it. Just depends on whether she wants it or not, but yes.
What happens to her now, you know, and did she really not want it? Or did she just want a certain amount of money that they were like, no, but like, so Bethenny is going to keep going, right? She has her money and this, like so in 3 weeks, when we're not talking about this interview, where does Raquel Leviss go? I mean, I know Bethenny
stays in Arizona.
Yeah.
Living at her parents' house until she realizes, like, wait, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life. Sorry. And then she calls Bravo and she's like, hey, can I maybe come back?
Yeah, like it's easy to say, I'm going to sit this one out, but let's, you know, to your point, let's ask Spencer and Heidi or NeNe or any of these people that would actually be back on TV if they could.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, also, Bethenny, to me, it's like, look, it takes a lot to keep a podcast going for years and years and years. It's like you had Jill, that was brilliant. And now you had her, that was brilliant. Like, what else now? Like, where, you know, you have to have regular episodes and like where I just, you know, no offense, but what's your next move?
What she did with Jill was terrible.
That was nice. Cringeworthy too. Yes.
It's not. No, it's not nice. She's just like,
I didn't even listen to it, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Well, after the fact, she has said, you know, we're not friends. I don't want you now to start inviting me to things and whatever. We're not friends. But, you know, also Jill has been so eager to be friends with her in the past. And she's like, no, don't worry. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. The whole thing is so sad.
I feel bad.
I do feel bad for her. I don't know why she wants to be friends with Bethenny.
My friends called me because, I mean, again, I live not even a minute, 30 seconds from Tudo. The other night, they were like, Bethenny's here. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Okay.
They're like, do you want to come over? I mean, literally, when I tell you, it's like walking across the street. I'm like, and do what? Like, what? Like, what do you want me? You want me just to come and like have a drink because Bethenny's there and like look at her from afar? Like, I'm going to pass. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm all set.
Oh, God.
All set on that.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. So, can you, speaking of the Hamptons and
we want to know about Margaret,
and we want to know
fine.
Just the party.
Before we get there, you know what I want to say though? The one thing I do find interesting about the whole thing is like the whole revenge porn thing. And I wonder if Raquel is going to sue. That's just, she should. I mean,
I'm not kidding.
I found that the most interesting thing of the whole thing.
Yeah. And out of everything.
Can you tell us about that? Because I don't know. I didn't listen.
It was the fact that the whole reason why Scandal happened, why anybody found out was because Tom, unknowing to Rachel, recorded her masturbating. And it's been distributed to everyone. Like everyone has that video. And out of everything that happened, that is worth suing for,
Yeah.
because that's
Yeah.
not okay.
Absolutely.
That
And
that
Ari, I
everybody
mean,
would
I don't
be-
know I think that's against Ariana. Like, I don't know. Did Tom send that out too? I mean, he recorded, so I guess it's against both of them.
Well,
Yeah.
it's against him because you're not supposed to record somebody when they don't know they're
No.
being recorded.
But I think it was
Right.
distributed by Ariana.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Which
it's
is-
both of them. And
Yeah.
she's Ariana's now come out. Like, so to me, you know, being a lawyer, as you know, Anna, I think in big picture. That's just how my mind thinks.
Mhm.
I go from 0 to 100. And so, like, if I were Ariana and I listened to this interview, I literally would have called my lawyer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
And I would be
the
like,
real cause of action here.
I now have legal counsel and like I'm ready. That would just be me. And like, then there is this other fact that she says she mentioned this on air to Tom. And then afterwards, Tom said to producers, I don't want that in there. It makes me look bad. And they cut the scene. So
Yeah.
now is Bravo. I mean, I don't know if
Covering
there's
up.
liability for that, but it's like a cover up. So that to me is the most interesting thing to come
Yeah,
out of
that's
this
true.
whole nonsense.
You're right. You're right. That is,
I
I think
would
that's the
sue.
biggest cause of action here. And I think that I would be worried if I were them. And of course, you know, they'll go after Tom and Ariana, but they'll go against
They'll go
Bravo.
Bravo
That's the big,
too.
you know, the deep pocket. So
Okay, tell us
that's
about
that.
Margaret before we wrap up here.
I mean,
We
what
talked
is
about it
there
briefly.
to tell?
We talked about it briefly last episode that you were at a party
well,
and Margaret went kind of nuts on you.
the gift
She went-
bag party.
She went kind of nuts on me. I mean, listen, you know, I mean, of course she's denying it. She is, a lot of my listeners have been DMing her and saying like, basically, like, I can't believe you did this and did it. She's actually responding to these listeners and then they're sending me her response. I mean,
Saying what? What is she responding?
I'm over it. Well, you know, so like, oh, it was at, you know, a party in the Hamptons, you know, we're not friends. We've had a falling out. I had, you know, it's a lot of reasons why, you know, and I was like, okay, I mean, I went to Luann's premiere for Crappy Lake a few weeks before and Sonia was there. Sonia hates me. I'm like, we're just not going to speak to each other. We didn't. It was that simple. She avoided me. I avoided her.
Yeah,
like,
period.
so
That's what
it's-
adults do.
Right. It's not a big deal. Every time I saw Sonia coming, I didn't run, but I was like, I'm going to turn away because we literally hate each other. Same thing with Margaret. So after being there for 2 hours, I was like, you know, it's not a big deal. Like, you know, we're just not going to speak. Then it's like, as the days are wearing on and like, I'm alone, she's like coming. I'm like, oh, she's like, comes up to me. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you know, we're like,
as the March.
we're like 2 hours into this. Right. And then
because she probably had a couple drinks in her. Liquid
no,
confidence.
she doesn't drink.
She doesn't drink.
Oh,
That's
she
the
doesn't drink anymore.
crazy
That's
thing.
right. That's right. I forgot.
That's
Okay.
what made no sense. So she just approached me and she's like, you know, listen, you know, you've been saying all season, you know, that I'm going to have, you know, be fired and there's going to be a Marge takedown season. And she's like, let me tell you something. And she like lowers her son. I'm like, this isn't being filmed.
She
Like,
lowered her sunglasses.
yeah,
This
she's like,
isn't
let
being
me tell
filmed.
you something. And she's like, gets closer and closer. Like, there will never be a Marge takedown season. And she's like, do you want to know why? And I'm like, sure, Margaret.
Hit
Like,
me.
I'll bite. She's like, because I have files on everyone. And I'm like, okay, no, I mean, that doesn't make any. So I'm like, so I'm like, okay. And she's like, everyone. So my mind starts to work. And I'm like, I don't think she's talking about like her castmates. And I'm
She's
like,
talking about you.
everyone. Well, I said me, but then even after that, I said, because I'm like, well, what is that? I said, producers, yes. Andy, yes. Corporate, yes. So I'm like, so you have files on corporate, Andy, producers. She's like, everyone. And this is why I will never, ever be taken out.
Wow, this is big.
Let me tell you something. These women go to such great lengths to get information that she should be focused on her own stupid little life. Okay. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
insane.
I'm like,
why are you spending money to grab shit about people?
Does Andy know this?
Yeah,
Do producers? So, I mean, I don't understand. And like, when you say you have files, like to me, it's either one of two things, like something illegal. This is just where my mind goes. Like, that's what you use, or something like I'm married and I had something sexual where you're cheating on someone. Like, otherwise, who cares, right? And she's like, I have it. So, I mean, does Andy Cohen know this? You're literally, this isn't castmates. This is like crazy shit that you're telling me.
So she thinks that they'll never get rid of her. because of this stuff. And you know what's weird?
I don't buy that.
During the reunion, they asked her specifically if she had files on people, and she said no.
That's what I said to her. I said, "Isn't this?" And she's like, "Huh." Like, I'm like, "Well, I'm asking you a question." Like, so I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not on the show, so it's not up to me to like alert the producers and Andy, but I would fire you if that's what you were going around and telling people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's scary. And it's like, why even like wait for that time bomb to blow up?
So as far as you know, on New Jersey, everyone's back. Everyone got a contract.
Yeah,
they started filming.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what the hell happens after that whole debacle.
Apparently, it's because I figured like maybe they'll try to, calm it down this season. Apparently, the first cast event was this past week. It was Jen Fessler's birthday. John Fuda and Paulie, Dolores's boyfriend, got into like heated blows. I don't know if it was physical, but it started with a huge fight. And then Teresa was outside in one of the videos saying to Jennifer, "I'm not dealing with her at all this season." And apparently she was talking about Margaret and not Melissa. I mean, Teresa hates Margaret. So like, I think it's going to be just as crazy as last season. And I mean, everyone is telling me that they're not watching. I don't know if that's true.
That's how
I'm watching.
That's how I feel though. Like towards the end of the season, when we were talking about it, it's like, it has gotten to an exhausting point where you're just like, I don't want to see people fighting the way that these people fight. I think that's why people are so like refreshed by New York. Because even though there's fighting, it's like about cheese and like lingerie. And that feels more
housewife,
surface level housewife. And like, we got to get back to the roots of cheese and lingerie fighting. Not like, I hate your guts and you're my family and I've known you for years and I've always hated you. Like I'm pretty done with that. And I think a lot of people are done with that.
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of people liked now, I'm not really there with New York, so maybe I got to give New York a little bit more of a chance.
You do. It's so good. It's just
a lot of people love it.
It's light.
Yeah.
I like light.
I wasn't interested in even watching it, and when I watched it, I enjoyed it.
It's really nice. It's a nice like palate cleanser, honestly.
A lot of people feel that way about Miami though. Now I don't know what's going to happen this next season, but they feel Miami has been up until the end, which we all know they got a little slap on the wrist last season towards the end with the Frankie stuff, but short of that, I think Miami has been light and bright. I think that's why people love it.
Well, I think we're going to get a lot because of the whole Lenny getting married and now wanting to go back. I think what he realized recently when it was announced that he's going back on the some of the settlement agreement terms that he agreed to with Lisa, because I think he realized that he can't afford them both.
But I mean, I saw that. I didn't read it. Like, how does that work? Like, you sign a paper and agree, and then you say, "Whoops, I made a mistake."
Well, yes, you can modify a settlement agreement based on need and ability to pay. So his ability to pay is different. This girl's going to want a multi-million-dollar wedding. She's going to want
the work.
She's going to want the work, and she's going to want the, 50, 60, $80 million house and all that. And that costs a lot of money. And how many surgeries can you do in a day? There are only so many tits in the world.
Got to up those prices.
To be honest with you, I don't understand. Like, doctors, yes, doctors make money, right? They make a lot of money. When I see the way like a Terry and Heather live and a way that Lenny lives, I don't understand.
I don't know. Because I don't know much about Terry's practice, but with Lenny, he has the Hochstein spa thing where they do everything. So every single thing that you could ever want to do, whether it's cool sculpting or Morpheus or whatever, he's making money when he's sleeping. You know what I'm saying? So it's not
that
only
house is so big and gorgeous.
Yeah, but whatever.
It's
I know Miami's like a less expensive, but I know. This Katerina, I assume, is going to move into this gorgeous house.
Oh yeah, they're living together, but I don't know where they're living together. There's just a lot of ugliness there, and it makes me wonder why you're coming to Miami and who you're going to interview. But I know you can't share that with us. But
we're excited to tune in.
Is Lenny a nice guy? I'm not interviewing Lenny. I'm just curious. Like, I've heard he's not so bad.
No, he's not bad. He's not bad.
He's not bad. He just
he's
on his
personable. He's personable. He's kind of shy. He's not like loud or chest poundy. But I don't like anything that he's done. I think he's a dick now, you know,
that part.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
but I think he's going to get his. I think this girl, I think he's really in love with this woman.
Yeah. For the next 10 years. And then we'll see somebody else. We do have to wrap up the show.
Yeah. We do a very short.
We're quickies.
I'm okay with that. You guys will come on my podcast. Everyone could listen to Behind the Velvet Rope.
Yes,
on
absolutely.
Apple, Spotify. You guys need to come back on. We can talk about this as it develops. I'm really into this reality reckoning and seeing where it goes. And you could follow me at Behind Velvet Rope on Instagram.
Thanks so much for joining
Thank you
us,
for joining
David.
us.
Follow us at Mommy Issues a Pod, at Beba_Rod, at Anna Cooks, QOOKS. Follow us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And yeah, we will see you next week.
And I'll see you.
Yeah, you'll see him at drinks
soon. And then maybe privately you'll tell me who are the people that you are interviewing.
After it happens, absolutely. Because everybody flakes.
Yeah.
Bye.
Everybody flakes. All right. Bye,
Thank
David.
you, David. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.